Jersey Air Force. I served in Europe, which was pretty duty. I got some great experience there geopolitically. This Berlin Wall and the wall came down, which was pretty incredible. In '91, the Soviet Union fell apart. So that's what I thought was the end of communism and the end of my military career because we were given a voluntary opportunity to get out. They didn't, it was about 6 months early because they didn't the military anymore after the war. We got out. I worked a full-time job. I went through school, then law school. Built two of the top firms in the field in New York, and now I figured this is the best way for me to help my community and help my country, and try and get us back on track of a lot of work that needs to be done. But that's the theme.
Greg, Eric here. In '91, I was a junior in high school when the Soviet Union fell apart, and in our parents' generation, they told them to hide under the desks. But in our generation, they didn't even bother telling you to hide under the desk because they know the desk wasn't going to help things any if it really came to that, right?
Yeah. Your workers, but it's pretty terrible.
So Eric, thank you for that, Eric. Greg, so you were in the Air Force. My father was in the Air Force, as you know. He's a Chief Master Sergeant. So I'll give a little shout out to him. Yeah, he did good with that. Very nicely done. He was based in Roslyn for most of a lot of his career, but they sent him over to Japan and Germany, all over the world to install communications installations. All right, Greg, you're amazing. You know I love you. I think I'm clear about that. You know,
That's what he says to you before he roasts you with all the questions that
oh,
we
good
prepared for
point.
you.
That's a good point. We have a mutual friend, our friend Jay. Jay always says, I want you to roast him. So, QR code Jay and Steve having a lot of fun. My boy Steve out in Belmore. All right, so here's a couple questions from the audience, and we'll talk about some other stuff. Get back to you really quickly. These were submitted. Eric, you want to take the first one?
Sure. Sure. So the first question, Greg, is about your previous experience leading into this position. What about your previous experience do you think
There you go.
makes you so well suited for this position?
I think, I think my experience is actually very suited to the position. I'm a lawyer. I was in the district. I came back here. I grew up in the district. I lived abroad. I came back to raise my family here, so I'm very well versed in the opportunities and drawbacks of living in the district. I've been very active in the community, so I'm very aware of what's going on. One of the issues that affect the district. Also very, I actually built two businesses. I created jobs, treated the employees very, very well. Actually, and by doing that, my businesses did very well. So I'm very good at managing people, very good at recognizing talent in people. I think that's something very important when you're building an office to represent the people of the congressional
Greg, you built some very successful law firms, and I believe there is some, synergy there, and also building, in a business which you could say the county is a business or the country's a business. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely, absolutely. I always have problems with people who just get out of school and run for office. I mean, what do you offer? They haven't built anything, you haven't accomplished anything or done anything that you can bring to the public service field. And I feel like I've done that. I've served my country. I've done everything. I mean, I even went when I had my own dime to Ukraine to investigate war crimes. Really get a feel for what's going on over there. So I've really experienced what. I mean, in addition to the other ways.
You have one? Can you get that? I'm going to say something that I want to do the next one. But hold on a second. Greg, from spending time with you, a lot of time over the past couple of months, especially, I've gotten to learn that you really care and you want to help the businesses on Long Island. Um, is that something you think that we need some help?
I think that's
Yeah, 100%.
a tax the most important thing to draw people into the district. I mean, if we do like my opponent, Swansea wants to do and raise taxes another 2.6%,
Anyone you
we're
want.
already the most highly taxed state in the country. We're already the highly, uh, we also have the highest exodus of people moving from the state. 100,000 people moved from Long Island just last year. And what happens when we can't, when kids get priced out of being able to come back and raise their families in our district? Then it becomes an older district. The price of the average price of a single family home in Nassau County is over $800,000. To think that our kids will be able to come back and raise their families when they're being taxed out of the district, it's just terrible. I mean, it's just a recipe for and the destruction of Long Island. When you have an older population, you don't have young people moving in, working hard, paying taxes, and offering innovation and entrepreneurship and building businesses. When you don't have that, you don't have the jobs, then more people move out, and it becomes even more exponentially uh, a loss of population on the island. It's just a death knell of any area. So that's paramount. We have to absolutely foster small business. Small business is what produces the majority of jobs in the country. So that's just rational governance. And it's just amazing to me that rational decisions can't be made by people that we elect to office and say that they're going to look out for our interests, because what they do is they say that they're going to do something and they do something else. The Constitution is a perfect example of that.
You're not.
Thinking about what
have
you just
on
said, Greg,
congressional
like
candidate.
the $800,000 house.
You have a question.
Hopefully it's big
Check
enough,
if he
because you
represents,
might have 2 or 3
Should we give him a
generations
couple
now
of
having to live.
questions
If the
for
kids
the
are going to come
candidate?
back,
Well,
it's not going to be in their own house. It's going to be in mom and
about,
dad's house, and
why
it could
he's
be 2
running
or
and
3
how,
generations.
stuff like that.
They could be raising their kids in there with grandpa and grandma, right?
United States
So
Congressional District 3, which is all the articles and that sort.
okay,
So if you have anything.
okay.
And that's what county is one of the most expensive counties in the country to live in. And that really has to change. I mean, the candidate, I listen to our representatives all the time saying, you got to cut taxes, you got to cut taxes. And it seems to be just a cliche.
Why not?
But really what it comes down to is, what
That's kind of enough to that.
in the district, we're looking for teams that hemorrhage young people. And that's scary, because that is absolutely a recipe for the decline of our beloved Long Island.
I've been here 51 years, never once seen the taxes go down, right? I've seen a lot of people talk about it. I've never actually seen it happen.
I'll introduce you.
For 4 years, right?
Let me introduce you. Say your name.
Dollar and they can save it all. That's what we need to do, and that's really what's most important.
Greg,
The polling numbers show that that's what the most important issue to people in this district is. And I'm
Greg, I spent a lot of time with you, and you graced a lot of meetings and business meetings that I've been to as part of the National Small Business Chamber of Commerce. We have on a really lovely Merrick resident, a contributor to the ToddCast, Jenna Ivino, and she definitely has she's a fan of yours, by the way. She said she's like, oh, I like him, but she has
Yes.
some questions.
Hi. So, as a Republican, and Nassau County is
Uh,
hugely red.
so I didn't
Do
get
you
the
think
message.
Trump will help or hurt you as a candidate?
I think sure will help.
Yes, I do too.
Yeah, I think that's what that's kind of like the head for some.
I agree. I agree. And I like that, I have sons who are in their 20s and all their friends, and they are all huge Trump supporters, so it's nice to see that the younger, we have like, opposite sides of the coin. We have like in Manhattan, we have, what's going on there. And then the opposite is out on Long Island. You have all these young, college age kids, and they're all huge Trump supporters, which is nice.
Jen, Greg, that's a really great question. If you don't mind, Jen and Greg, how do you think the Mandani effect with the new mayor is going to affect Long Island? Jen, do you have a? Yeah.
Well, as a real estate agent also, during COVID, when everyone was trying to like flee Manhattan, we had an influx of people moving here from Manhattan. And that's, I think, what caused the prices of the houses to go so high. And I feel that that's going to happen now.
No, I got it here.
You
Oh,
agree,
yeah.
right? I feel like Nassau County is going to turn into Queens.
I think what's gonna happen is if you put some this
Yes.
I think that's one start eroding the top of everybody in New York City because they can start moving out. And you the people who be highly mobile, and they're going to do so because they're not going to be taxed out of their own money. A lot of those people are leaving, and that tax burden is going to be just shift that.
Right. It's going to shift down to the middle class. Correct.
Obvious, obvious result of what this person is.
I mean, it's obvious.
Has no place in our country.
No.
Period. I mean, it's no place in our government.
Like what you just said, it's obvious to me. It's so obvious to me that that's what's going to happen. And I still just don't understand how certain people don't see it that way. I really, for me, it's just like common sense.
Like perfect common sense. I just don't understand how people
See, I knew I liked you.
Stop that. Stop that. Greg, come on, Greg. You're wooing the ladies now. Greg, we have on here somebody that you had met, another big proponent, a great guy in Long Island, and co-host with me with the 7 to 8 Strong Island Sound show on the ToddCast. Dave RMD, Dave
sir.
Tellery.
Yes,
Dave,
sir.
what are your thoughts? You had some questions also for Mr. Greg.
Mr. Greg, you do have children, right? All right. Well, I have some boys, and one is 20, and you have 21, and the other one is 24. And though they have trades up under their belt, like mechanics, and one is doing audio engineering, 100%. However, the scary part for me is that there's absolutely like no jobs out there for them. Unless it's town. I work for the town of Hempstead. I've been there over 2 decades already, and I'm grounded. I'm vested. I don't have to worry about anything. But as far as they're concerned, finding an equal chance, equal opportunity for them to have the opportunity to live here on Long Island and live comfortably seems like it just went out the window. As far as taxes are concerned, I mean, what's your take on that? As far as the children, like the younger generation growing up here on Long Island, what do you think you could do to make it just a little bit more better?
what I was saying before. We need to cut taxes, we need to cut regulations and compliance issues, things that make it almost impossible for a small business to take root and start. And those are where most of the jobs, like 50%, small business creates over 50% of the jobs in the United States. And
Right.
that goes for Long Island as well.
Right.
We need to start being very careful about how we spend our money. I mean,
Right.
if anything taught me over the last 4 years, if I learned anything over the last 4 years and dealing with Biden and seeing the betrayal of the taxpayer and
Right.
how our money was spent to people who didn't pay into it in any way. And the
Right.
most ridiculous things you can imagine. Drag shows in Zaire, most ridiculous, $8 million
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
make mice transsexual.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Right. This world needs work.
Not being represented by people who pretend they represent us, but then they work against our interests, against our best interests behind
Right.
the scenes. And that's got to end.
Right.
We just need people who really care. And I couldn't get up here
I
and ask
totally
for your
agree.
support. I couldn't get up here and ask for your support or trust unless I knew the end to which I would go to never betray it.
Right.
And that's what we need to restore. The first thing we need to do is restore faith in our government institutions.
100%. Well, I pray that you can make the difference because, I mean, with the right blueprint, I believe that you can, and you definitely have me in your corner.
Hey, Dave, Greg, one of the things, Greg, that me and you have already spoken about is utilizing the National Small Business Chamber of Commerce. Dave RMD is a founding member here of the HERF chapter, which is Hempstead, Uniondale, Roosevelt, Freeport, and putting together a job workshop, a legitimate training for real estate, mortgages, carpentry, and some of the trades. So we're actually looking for a location now to really help out the community. So certainly. Mhm.
Said before, talking about the trade, that's actually something that's very close to my heart. My dad was a union president.
Mhm.
I worked in my son is trade unions provide some of the best training for tradespeople and people who are going to work with their hands and do the work that needs to be done to keep our country going. And we're not able to fill those jobs. I mean, that's a sad thing.
Right.
We
Right.
can't get. I was talking to a submarine mechanic, and they're building submarines in. But
know.
they can't get.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They can't get the pipe fitters.
Let me introduce you.
Don't have national security. We don't have internal security. We don't have the security to deal with that. And you'll get things going. But I worked with a lot of the labor unions for most of my life. As a lawyer, I've represented and I'm very well acquainted with how their apprentice programs work and how they train people. And I think that I'm putting together a policy that will allow government to subsidize, but work with union apprentice programs to grow them and meet the needs of our workforce. I mean, we definitely need skilled labor that we don't have. It's not being filled in because we don't have as many people that should be in these programs learning these trades. So if that's one other way to create jobs.
Greg, we have on another lovely young lady, and she has a question for you. She's part of our cast. She's actually the co-host, Lori McKeo Smith, the co-host of the Singles Diaries, which is the next segment coming up after you. Uh, um, and she also said, "Hey, if he needs some help, what was your how would you help him
So
as a
you
psychic? She's a psychic."
need an intuitive guide on your team.
Love it.
But you had a question.
I do a lot of business consulting, I do. Okay.
Bring her to the next meeting.
Okay.
For the Star Trek fans, it's like Picard has Counselor Troy, so no one can lie to him because she knows exactly what the other person's thinking, and she tells him. That could be a big advantage to a political.
I'll prep someone for a meeting.
We haven't tried it out yet.
Go ahead, Laura.
Okay, so I would love to know more about you personally, what you're like. So here's my question. I love asking this question to everyone. If there were a blizzard and we were all stuck in our houses. But you managed to get a pizza delivered to you. So someone's kid has gotten out in the snow and delivered you a pie. What would you tip him?
What kind of
Your house in a blizzard, you haven't had to move your car, but there is some 17-year-old kid that managed to get you a hot pizza.
See, it's funny. I'm actually a very generous tipper. I work. When I was 13 years old, I washed dishes in a restaurant. I worked landscape.
Love it.
When I see somebody working, I always recognize it. Take the care. I don't want to be self-serving and say what I do, but I usually do that.
Okay, love it.
All right, great answer,
Thank you.
Greg. All right, Greg.
Great
I'm gonna.
answer.
Eric, did you ask him yet? I'm gonna.
Go
Did you
ahead.
ask him?
Go
Did
ahead.
you- All right, Greg. Let me hit you with this. What? This is an interesting one from the audience. What is something about the Republican Party that you would change, if anything?
Well, well, there is something that would change that. I would like to see a lot more outreach, especially with the Democratic Party and their policies. I'd like to see organized labor make a mass migration to the Republican Party, and I'd like to see the Republican Party um, um, have greater outreach to organized labor. I mean, yeah, I grew up in a union household. I believe in the American worker, and that brings us prosperity. Um, yeah, I think that's real.
And I think to wrap this up, unless anyone else has any other thing, if I don't ask you, this is from Jay actually. I think you know who Jay is. Jay wants to know what's the difference between you and who's in office right now.
The fact that Squad, I can say something nice about him. He's got a much better head of hair than I do.
It's always you had a good head of hair.
How does that help us, though, right?
Night and day. And Squad, he paints himself as something that he's not. You have somebody who's one of the most terrific traders in Congress. I think I read today something like 660 trades. Um, and he, it's about trust. I mean, I'm out here asking people to trust me, and I'm working every day to be worthy of that trust. I mean, I'm to be worthy of that trust and to prove to the people that I will never betray that, and to be the best candidate that I possibly be, and that my motives are pure and simple. In fact, for example, like you have Tom Swanby, whose net worth was $2.8 million in 2017 or 2018. When he gets into Congress, and he's as of today, 7 years later, he's got over 425% greater net worth.
Wow.
That's $13 million.
It's all that inside
Wow.
trading.
Wow.
That's what when you think about how we choose our leaders and the process by which our leaders get to that position, it's always it's when you're able to trade on non-public information and increase your wealth by that amount. What kind of people do you think that encourages to run?
Yeah, but isn't that like everyone in Congress? Like almost everyone?
It is almost everyone. And
You know, the big names like Pelosi. Yeah.
like hearing our capital being talked about like it's full of crooks and criminals. That always broke my heart. That's terrible. I mean, talking to the veterans over Veterans Day this weekend. I mean, over Veterans Day, over Veterans Day. It was bad. I mean, some of them were saying, "What the hell do we fight for?
Yeah.
What do we fight for? We're being betrayed by people that we trusted to represent, and they're pushing policies that are completely
Un-American.
that divide us, and they attack everything that we hold dear: our families, our faith, our communities, and our way of life, the American way of life, and that's just not acceptable to me. I can't sit back and let that happen. That's why I'm doing it. It's just if you can't fight for this, you can't fight for anything.
Trump is the biggest threat to that. If you could get as far away from Trump as you can philosophically, I think you would do your candidacy a great good. I don't believe you'll get any of the younger votes that way either. I don't think anyone under 30 believes Trump or likes Trump.
My sons are 23 and 25, and they have hundreds of friends, and they all love Trump.
So that's our little, that's,
Resurgence is a real surge in my,
You know, what Eric just said, he thinks Trump is the biggest threat. What I think the big, and I've, before COVID, I didn't, pay attention to politics. I couldn't name a mayor in another city.
Lloyd.
Now I could like recite codes, and I know the Constitution like the back of my hands, and I know almost every name in Congress, and I follow along. And I think, yeah, I really, and no, 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 it's okay. So what I feel is the biggest threat and why there is such a divide is our media, who, now didn't it just come out? Yeah, it just came out today or yesterday. Well, that not the BBC. During the 2019 trial of Jeffrey Epstein, Michael Cohen was what Jeffrey Epstein was texting one of the Democrat senators questions, like, and the media, blows that under the rug, but Trump, like, burps a certain way, and it's like, the White House is going to blow up. Like it's, and that's the problem I feel, and which is why I like to debate with people, because they say certain, like, well, Trump did that. I'm like, no, that's not how it happens. Like, but that's the way CNN and MSNBC portray it, and and they don't give the whole story. And I feel that a lot of people hate Trump because it's manufactured.
Greg,
Yeah.
it has been an amazing pleasure. Thank you for, coming on and talking to the Long Island audience. And by the way, as someone who's been very good about reaching out to the Long Islanders, I know many events that I've been and events that I have thrown, you have shown up, and we as Long Island appreciate that a lot.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate the fact that you guys are awesome. It's really great all the stuff. I really appreciate it.
All right, have a great weekend. I
Thank
will
you so
talk
much,
to you
Greg.
then.
Bye, Greg.
Thanks, Greg.
God bless
Great
you,
chat.
sir. Yes, of anything, brother.
We're going to kick off the American First Warehouse. The campaign kickoff on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Wednesday, November 19th. And if you want to get involved in the campaign, I hope you'll come to greghach.com. That's GREGHACH.com. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Greg Hawk, ladies and gentlemen. Love you, bro.
Thank you, everybody.
All right, Greg. Have a good night. Eric.
All right, kids, we're taking it back to 1967. This is San Francisco by Scott McKenzie. If it was 1967, I would put some flowers in my hair and I would go out to San Francisco.
Flower
I tell you
child.
what would happen after that. That's as far as they're gonna go.
Flower child. Love you guys.
Cisco.
So if she calls, it's fine. I don't worry about it.
Davy, what's up?
What's up, girlfriend?
One of those videos you posted, freaking hilarious.
Which one?
And wait, when were you at the beach with the dolphin?
Oh, that was on Veterans Day.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah,
Poor dolphin
yeah.
went off broke.
Yeah, he went off. He went off. We had to drive. That water was cold as
You went in with
shit.
sneakers and everything?
Yeah,
I'm saying, I'm in my, I'm
Sneakers
I'm
and
like,
everything.
Dave, just take your shoes and socks.
and it was too cold to do that. So I just got in the way I was. You know, I figured that maybe I could stay a little warmer because if I would have took off my shoes, man, I wouldn't have went in that water for sure. So I needed a buffer.
Yeah, but the problem with that is now you come out of the water and now your shoes are sopping wet with the
Yeah.
cold air. It's like,
Right. I mean, that
makes
makes
it even colder.
it makes sense. It was like
Supposed to strip down like a polar bear.
and then dig this here. And then the other reason is because it's cold and there's nothing but crushed shells in there. You know, I wouldn't have made, I would, oh my God, in the cold, you know, I couldn't do it. It was like walking on the bed. Yeah, I just went there to meditate, you know, and I saw the man in the distance that was next to me, and I looked and I was like, "What's that?" I thought it was a shark or something. So when I got closer, he said, "Hey, buddy," he said, "How you?" And I said, "I'm
What's
fine."
the
I said,
plan
"What's
here?"
going on?"
Okay.
He said, "There's a dolphin here." He said,
Where are we?
I tried." He said, "I tried to get into the water. I can't even budge it."
Greg went a little
No,
bit
and then
over
when I went, the
schedule.
dolphin was still alive.
You're gonna thank your
You know, it was
sponsors.
moving this.
Freeze, you know, 'cause she liked that music and we were like the youngest ones in the place.
Okay.
Remember Zachary?
Yeah.
Places to go when I was 18, 19, close to 20 was Hostel USA.
Oh, I've been there. Yeah.
Hostel
Yeah.
USA, it was all.
Yeah. I forgot
chill.
about that.
Yeah,
That's
it
like
was
one you don't hear
always
about.
jumping. That's all-
See,
that's
I'm not a Long Island.
Yeah.
yeah, that's Hostel University.
Okay, Dave.
Yeah, Hostel USA.
Okay.
And after that, it was the Malibu. I hung out there
Go.
because they played my first LP, You Make My Thing Grow. And so
We don't need to go there, Dave. Yeah.
But it was a good.
I love that. Yeah, his LP. He had to go there. He had to go there. All right, guys. Real quickly, guys, quick little selfish plug. Todd Elliott Real Estate, that's me, 516-710-3374. If you want to sell your home, you want to buy a home, If you're looking to get your real estate license, you want to learn, or if you're an agent and you want to take the next step and go up and reach a higher level, give me a call. All right. We also have Frank Rizzo on the line. He's just hanging out with us. But Frank, this is really more of the singles diary segment. So just FYI. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have on the amazing Lori McKeo Smith. She's a psychic, a medium. She's the co-host of the Singles Diaries. And by the way, just and turned out to be an amazing teammate and friend of the show here. And I really grew up to really like her a lot. Hi, Lori.
Hi, Todd. Thank you.
Lori, how was your week and what's going on in the dating world today? And what are some of the challenges?
My week was great.
Uh-huh.
It's so funny how it works out. There's always some kind of theme to the week. I feel like clients are dealing with similar things. So this week, we're going to talk about two things really, but they kind of connect. How much do we need to share with our partner?
Hmm.
And specifically relating to starting over, starting fresh. Maybe we get out of an abusive relationship. Maybe we get out of a relationship where we weren't our best. Maybe we got into some trouble, weren't living our best life. But let's say we are looking for a relationship, we're meeting someone new, and we really want to give it the best shot. So, Todd, I'll start with
Oh,
you.
okay, ma'am. Yes,
How
ma'am.
much do you think you need to share with your partner about your past?
Wow. Well, I would say, probably you're going to want to, Lori, break that into stages. I mean, do you have to give it all in the first time you meet them?
I don't think so. I happen to think we're entitled to keep some things private,
I
maybe forever.
I always felt, honestly, you don't really get to know someone for about 2 years. That's just my personal opinion.
No, that's,
What do you
yeah,
think?
like a
Is
year and a
that
half,
it for
2
you, maybe
years.
too,
Yeah.
Jen?
Well, unless you're a psychic and relate to you guys.
There's knowing someone, and then there's knowing them, right? Like there's
Right.
like their outer character, like the things that what kind of music do you like? What's your favorite color, right?
See,
Like on a peripheral level. But then there's like knowing them, right? There's like knowing the skeletons in the closet and what makes you react certain way to certain things, your upbringing, how your parents were, how your siblings.
see, I want to know someone
These kind of
in the
things.
present. I want to know how you show up, how you are in the moment. Your past doesn't matter as much to me. So, Jen,
Yes.
is there anything that you can think of that you would want to not share with a partner?
Um, on a very casual kind of level, um, if you're dating someone and you go to a certain place, they take you to a certain place, like, do you really need to tell them, oh, me and my ex, like, I
Right.
feel like
I
that
was
is
guilty of
rude.
that, Jen.
Yeah, I think it just
I
makes the
admit
other
it.
person feel bad. Like, and I'll play off like, oh, this place looks cool, because I wouldn't want that done to like me if I'm with like say, oh, let's go here, and oh, my ex-girlfriend is with my ex-girlfriend there all the time. Like, it's hurtful.
No, Jen, I think, sorry to cut you, but I think guys sometimes don't understand that. I've made that, I didn't realize that it could be hurtful.
It would be
Right.
hurtful. Yeah.
Let's go a little bit deeper.
Sorry,
Let's say something about your past, something you've dealt with. Let's say someone dealt with an addiction, someone nice to a previous partner. Maybe they've done their work. Do they need to share that?
Not right off the bat, but if that is affecting, I feel like if
You know, I mean, there are some, tell it all.
They disappear for a
threatening
day or
person's
two.
character. Yeah, yeah,
What
100%.
about Dave, tell me more about that jittery. What do you mean if they're a recovered addict or
Yeah,
if
I mean,
they're
like
actively?
usually recovering addicts or recovered addicts, they have like these little tweaks about
Right.
themselves, like where they will get nervous or they always beating their hands on the table,
What would that
or they need a lot of coffee,
would that be a deal breaker for you?
Oh hell yeah! What do you mean?
Really?
What do you mean?
Oh,
Yeah, I'm not taking a chance. I mean,
I have a little
some
problem
if
with
you
that.
well, is that deal? That's not a deal breaker for you.
A recovered addict?
Doink, 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 doink,
I
doink. That's
would
what I said.
say- I think we're getting down here. What's the problem over there?
But you haven't answered the question.
Wait,
yet.
Todd, I can't see him.
You haven't answered the
In a
question
debate.
yet.
That would absolutely not be a deal breaker. That would be a sign of incredible strength.
What to deal with a recovering addict?
Did you go over recovered addict? No, to respect someone that overcame.
Oh, you have to really get to know somebody.
Now, are you saying that addiction is a choice, a character flaw?
normal cases, it doesn't work because both people need therapy, on the same situation,
Right.
and you guys will start clashing, because
It's like a 2-for-1 deal on the therapy couch.
yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah,
get two long couches.
Absolutely.
it's
Both
interesting.
of y'all
Like,
lay down.
going back to what we were talking about in the green room before, right? Like, obviously, we're not the same person that we were in our 20s or 30s, right?
Right.
We've accumulated wisdom and experience and been through different things. So
Right.
we're not the same person. But at the same time, your upbringing doesn't just fade away. Like, you still have the tenets of the things that you
You're still a
were
product
brought
of
up
your
with,
environment.
product
You're
of your
still a product.
environment. At the bottom, at the end of the day, those things are still there. Like, they change, they morph, you react different ways, but you're still the person that you grew up with.
I'm gonna say something. I want to hear all of your reactions to it. Often, very often, you hear people say that people don't change. Oh, they don't change. If you want to know what future behavior is going to be, look at their past. I happen to believe that people can change. I'm not saying it's easy. People can change. I believe the challenge is we don't give people the opportunity to change.
Right. But we're really understanding the trigger, because a person can change and then it's something, you know, that you could trigger, and once you know a person, especially in the entirety, know what makes them tick, what makes them smile, what makes them cry. If you really love the person, you have to maintain some type of balance to keep the relationship at peace.
I have a question, Lori.
Yes.
We were talking about before, when should you let people know um, everything about you? So let's say it takes 2 years, as me and Jen said, right? People change every 5 years. So what do you do then? And do people change? And how does that affect the relationship? Because I believe people change every 5 years. Now you're in a relationship with a different person. What do you do then?
Well,
I-
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Do we change for the better?
Well,
It could be, but not
the whole thing
necessarily.
about changing is that both partners need to accept the change and change with them. And I think that's why a lot of marriages, wind up failing. Um, and most of the time it's the men saying, "Oh, well, my wife changed." Well, yeah, we changed. We were a young 20-something-year-old, and then we got married, and now we're running a household, and then a few years later we have kids. Yeah, after having 3 kids, I'm definitely not the same person I was before children.
You know something.
If you have a husband who doesn't accept that and embrace it and change with you,
That's a challenge,
Yeah.
Something, Jenny, women like after the 3 kids, like you said, it might be weight gain or, maybe.
I'm not saying physical changes.
No. Just,
but yes,
everything
that
that's
too.
included in that package. If a man really loves a woman, he's going to constantly reassure her that, baby, I love you just the way you are. And he'll deal with the change because, men go through that menopause as women go through the
Menopause.
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 Yeah, go through the menopause.
He's in it right now as we speak.
Twist on this. So I think we're talking about sex, right? As far as changing, you're saying men go through
I
it,
wasn't
women go
even
through
going
it.
there yet. That was next.
I'll buy that for $1.
Jen said, after 3 kids, we're gonna change. Let's get down to it. If you met your partner and you had an amazing physical relationship, and that was part of your love language, that was part of what you did, you all of a sudden have a kid and change, that is a big deal.
Yeah,
I
it is.
think we have,
I believe
really need
you hit a
to
deep
look
nerve
at
here.
that.
I'm in pain right now.
Are you?
You hit a deep nerve because I believe, if from my calculations, 85% of marriages do not work, if not higher.
That's true.
When I work
Let's
with
say
children-
50% end up in divorce. That's
Yes.
almost the math of it.
More than that.
Okay, so out of the remaining 50%, How many are happy? Staying there for the kids, staying there for financial. I'm just saying.
When I work with couples,
You're a
I
unicorn,
guess
Eric.
I guess I am the unicorn.
You are a unicorn.
I can't say I'm doing
two
it for the
things.
kids.
I've told
Well, I
you
was
the
just gonna
two
say,
the two top things we talk about when I work with couples. I do couples intuitive counseling. Two things they argue about: sex and who takes out the garbage. I swear, we could spend a lot of time on that. And those things are representative of so much more. Sex is intimate. It's a way of communication. It's a way of showing love. So if one person all of a sudden changes and takes that away, it's not always so much about our bodies changing. People use it as a weapon.
Yeah,
People use sex as a weapon.
it's all too common.
All right, here's a wow, you guys are this is getting deep. The knife is getting digging in. Here's man.
wait, before you say
Yeah.
that, can I just
Yeah.
respond to
Yeah.
Laurie?
Yes.
I don't think it's so much as a weapon. I feel that it's a form of resentment because as a woman, yeah, you were having sex, 5 times a week, but then you had kids in the household and cooking dinner and doing laundry. If you don't get help from your partner, and then,
See,
you're running around and now it's 10, 11 o'clock at night and you did all that all day long. And while he sat
I-
there and did nothing, then, now he wants sex. Like, dude, are you
No,
serious?
see, you can't look at it like that.
But,
He
I'm no, I'm not.
wants to
I'm not saying they're doing it
but
purposely. It's like,
see, people do that. We tie sex to so many things. It's like all of a sudden we don't want to have sex if like the dishes aren't clean.
no,
What
I'm
does
not
one
saying that.
have
I'm
to
saying
do?
as far as being physically tired.
But you know what? Screw the dishes. Go have sex. Like
Right,
it's
exactly.
fun. It's
I agree with you.
free.
I agree with
I agree with you,
That's what
Lori.
I say.
Because
It's fun
even
and
if
it's free.
yeah.
You have a partner with you. If
100%.
that's what feels good, go do it.
If it takes for you, you could do it. Whatever. Just, let's get
All right,
this
now
over
we're
with.
agreeing again. I'm almost forgiving you for the fiction comment.
Of course, the man gonna be happy. No,
But why is it just the
and then
man?
it's gonna
We
make you
we
happy
keep
in turn.
talking like the man is the only one that wants
Yes.
But
sex.
I was
Why
talking
is
about
that?
just what, man.
Why doesn't a woman want it?
I mean, of course,
That's
like
all.
I said, she's tired. She got the kids. She
Hold
got-
on.
No, let me
That
tell
is
you,
a valid
I'm
question.
a sex shooter.
Do men want it more than women?
Sure.
I find that women, as they get older,
Oh no,
no, but some of
Now,
them.
here's the thing.
women.
Men want it for the physicality. Women want it for the emotional connection.
No.
I mean, no, I mean, yes, the physicality also,
Right.
each sex
So
responds differently, like mentally to it.
Well, I mean, then you would have that man too, that a woman probably wouldn't want to have sex with after, like 25 years of marriage, 40 years of marriage, because he's all bent out of shape. I mean,
But-
if your stomach gets in the way, there's an issue.
I think break down the cliche here. Like it's not just emotional for women and it's not just physical for men. That's a bunch of BS.
So let me tell you a little story. I worked with a couple of years ago. And I said, what is it that you both want? And the woman said, I just want to have coffee with my husband every morning.
Mhm.
I said, well, that sounds lovely. What else do you do during coffee? And she said, well, I just want it to be the both of us. It's when I go through the bills. It's when we talk about our school, when we figure out who's picking up the kids. I said, well, I got to be honest, this sounds awful. I wouldn't want to have coffee with you either. That sounds pretty stressful to start your day off that way. It's
Right.
not just coffee.
is Alex still on?
So then
Right.
I said to the man, what is it that you want? And he said, I want sex. We haven't had sex. I said, great. What else do you do when you have sex? And they looked at me like I was nuts. I said, well, what do you talk about when you talk about bills? And he said, no.
Well, you need something to stir the coffee with.
And I said, that's the only time you're quiet. It's the only time you're not nagging him. He wants the. I may have just gained a whole lot of haters right now. But honestly, he wanted to be close to her. He wanted that
Mhm.
intimacy. but he wanted it without all of those other
get
things. So
it.
what I'm saying is
Right.
pick a time to talk about the bills. Pick a time to talk about the schedule,
Mhm.
but don't attach it to sex. Sex
Right,
should be something fun
think-
and intimate.
right.
I
And
think that's a great advice.
wait, my other advice is don't ever bring anything into the bedroom. Your bedroom is for sleep and it's for
Good advice.
sex. The one thing maybe I did right in my marriage, and I will do this with every relationship. If you have something serious to say and we're in bed, we get up and we leave the room. Don't bring stress in.
Always
Do
say,
not bring stress.
never let the sun go down on your anger.
Do not bring stress into that room.
Right.
That is a sacred place and it should be separate.
I want to say this. I think it's, from what I'm hearing here, and that's great advice, Lori, by the way. You're very good at what you do.
Oh, thank
But
you.
sex is really a big problem. How many people out of 100 people, Eric, how many people stay faithful?
In this day and age,
I got to say, it's got to be less than 3%.
Why? Because our needs aren't being met.
Again, unicorn, but
so social media is social media too. I feel like social media and all the dating apps. It's just
This
this.
comes down to communication.
but even when we were talking about before, people change physically, sexually, emotionally. It's a very difficult thing for people to stay
No, what I'm
together.
saying is just so easy to cheat now because of the
Of
dating
course,
apps
yeah,
and social
100%.
media.
Yeah,
And
agreed.
I feel like, certain people, it's like, because, they could look at their phone and they could see all these men or women, it's like, they have the grass is greener, syndrome, or the
Always.
shiny new thing
It's
syndrome.
always
and
greener.
it-
It's always greener. Guys, I'm gonna have to wrap this up. I want Lori to wrap it up. We have a quick music break with Eric. Lori will say some closing words, or she might want to ask another question. Fine. We'll do a quick music break, and then we have Alex on the other side with the Long Island Businessman. Lori, wrap it up
you're
however you
in
want,
a-
but also tell people how to get a hold of you.
If you're in a relationship, separate your issues. Don't
Come on.
tie your bills to the sex. Don't tie your childhood trauma to, I don't want to talk to you. I don't, separate it. If you've had a good sexual relationship, that's intimacy. Hold on to it. Enjoy it. It's sacred.
But you're right about not tying teeth to the bills, the
Deal
sex.
with it separately.
Man, getting ready to climax. Like, oh, I need $42.95.
What?
And
Dave's gonna get the memo.
what I do when I do when I work with couples is we talk about those things. We don't go to the past so much. We talk about dealing with things now. It's about taking care of each other's needs emotionally, physically, and guys, if you're dealing with, say, your wife who doesn't want it, find out why. Find out what you can do to meet their needs in other places and see if you can separate
That's
it.
not something women would just talk about. They won't tell a man why. He doesn't want to. A man really got to figure that out
Just get it out.
himself. Man really got to figure that out himself.
So,
I mean, because if it's about dishes, call me Hoover Deluxe or whatever.
No,
I mean,
I think it's about feeling
wash every dish in the house.
unappreciated. It's a
Well,
it's
yeah,
about
that too.
feeling unappreciated.
That too. That's true. That's why it's always important to do more than just pay bills and hang around the house. I mean,
it's
sometimes, what I've learned is that, dating again, like the two partners, husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, when it gets boring, go to the beach, go walk. You have to reconnect, and you're not going to reconnect where all of the stress is located, which is in the household. You reconnect on the beach, you reconnect in a restaurant, in an environment that reminds you of the reason why you two are together.
next segment connecting with me.
Thank you. RMD, well
And put your
said.
phones away when you attempt to do that,
Next
right?
segment, reconnecting, you said? Reconnect?
Yes.
Connecting. No, I thought that was great. And the takeaway is we all have needs. Communicate about them and separate them.
Got it.
Okay?
Lori, how do people get a hold of you?
Buyyoursoul.com.
Excellent.
I love working with couples. We
I will highly recommend.
dive right in, get to the point.
Awesome work. All right. Eric's gonna have his lovely music McGillicuddy.
Hey, we're gonna rock it back to 1969. We're gonna start with Aquarius and Let the Sun Shine. You know, this song was made for the musical Hair, and then the Fifth Dimension made it into a hit song. And then you're gonna hear two clips here. The second one, People Are Strange by the Doors, from 1967.
Yeah, buddy.
Great combos tonight.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, very good combo. I didn't mean to rush everybody. Just trying to keep on schedule. Dave, he doesn't get the memo. Once he gets into a subject, he just has fun with it. My brother.
Sing.
He's asking you about the Bills at that moment. You might be doing something.
Right, you ain't doing that. That means
Well, you're ready for insertion. By the way, did you play Loco?
You got water bills?
Dave, the guy's wife. She was good.
Wasn't she
I had
good?
to win here for
She's
that.
in Vegas right now.
She's in Vegas? What?
She was supposed to call in, but apparently, she's out there
One
performing.
of the guys that were here.
Yeah, yeah.
His wife?
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah,
she was
the
here
female
for
that was singing,
Oh,
it
she
was
had a
his
song?
wife that was sitting next to him.
Oh, good.
Oh man.
Like something you'd hear on the radio. Good.
Yeah, definitely. She's in Vegas right now performing.
Like fun. Like
Really great,
like
great
something
song. Like
commercial.
I'll send it to you, so you could check it out. Yeah, definitely. Because you're a music buff. Yeah, you definitely like it.
Lori, I thought it was very nice.
Good conversation. We would like kill each other and then we would like agree. You and I. One extreme to the other.
Of course.
One segment I was like, yes, I agree. The other I wanted to be like, yes.
Yeah, me too. Me and Lori would have been sitting there like,
For fun now.
makes it fun. That's what keeps
I
it
know.
interesting,
But you hit those buttons.
Mm.
That
Oh, I gotta
addiction
put
thing.
That's all right. I put the screwdriver on the nerve and just twist and twist and twist and
It's annoying.
twist. I love you anyway. I could twist my lips like you too.
Done.
32. Okay. All right.
What's next, boss?
We got business. We got Alex
Got
on
Alex,
the line.
right?
Business minute with Alex. All right, let's we'll get Alex up and running here. Okay.
Where's Jim? What happened to Jim?
All right, guys, welcome back to the ToddCast on Long Island's oldest radio station, WGBB 1240 AM, 95.9 FM. That was an amazing segment on the Singles Diaries with Lori McKeel Smith and the crew here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a special, well, I want to say he's a special guest, but how about he's just special because he's been a contributor many times and someone that I've been entrusting more and more with a lot of different things, and he's doing great things in the community. Alex, are you there?
Yeah.
How are you, my man?
Once upon a song, we're doing at the temple in Washington.
Is it a play? What is it? Okay, that sounds like fun. Oh, that's fantastic. Amazing, amazing. All right, good. So we got you live talking to Long Island's audience. We got you covered at your location. So we're on location now. If you got us on stage, it would be better, but we'll take this. Alex, congratulations on all the accolades and everything you've been working on in the community. And a thank you, by the way. Alex, how do you first of all tell people a little bit about what you do so they could get an idea of how you could help them? We're gonna do 940. We're gonna do New do again by Jen to 9:50. Just have fun. 9:50. We're gonna do the trivia. Uh-huh. All right, so Alex. Mhm. Alex, what is the biggest challenge that people have when they're starting a business? Right. So access to capital, Alex. And what are some of the ways that people that are trying to open a business or have a little business, how can they get capital? What are some of the avenues? What's a HELOC? Jen segment, tell them to come in. I want us all to hang out with her. In 3 minutes. I just want to for her a little segment. I want to have a little support, especially with Big Dave. That's amazing. So access to capital, that's some of the ways you could get it. And then how about social media quickly, before we let you get back to your live show?
So we've heard from movies and TV, right?
Alex, all right, I want you to get back in there. You're doing a great job for the ToddCast and everything you're doing. How do people get a hold of you?
state in charge of the state of Long Island is there. Everything sold there is made, bred, and born in New York State. Everything. So if you're a company that's growing, and you're a New York State company, everything is here. They will help you. They help you get financing. They help you get grants. They help you sell that stuff there in other locations. We had a young kid who was like, you guys ever heard of Moscow Tea? Moscow Tea started, they got a garage. The kid in his garage, he got his formula for tea. And he started going from deli to deli. And then he takes the kid to New York. They actually had him borrow the facility at night when it wasn't running. He was able to bottle his iced tea in more sanitary conditions, a more faster condition, and cheaper condition. And now Moscow Tea is all over Long Island. And we're growing the state. It's a tremendous, tremendous opportunity for people.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. All right, Alex. Thank you so much for everything.
The booking is on all social media platforms, and the coaching is on LinkedIn and Facebook for now. Those kind of the other platforms as well.
All right.
Phone number is, my phone number is 631 495 for the LID, 80 for the Great Peaceful Decade, and 74 for the Work Financial Center. So,
Can't forget that.
my number.
All right. Long Island legend, Alex, thank you. Go have some fun in there. Alex, Charles Alley, ladies and gentlemen. Eric?
All right, we're gonna rock it out with a quick song here. It is 9:40. We're looking at Mighty Quinn by Manfred Mann from 1968.
Heard this in a long time.
You might never hear it again. Job,
I
Eric.
dig deep for these guys.
How did you find these?
I listened to this week. I listened to nothing but 60s music all week from sun up to sundown. I just keep my TV glued on that channel.
That 60s,
And then
60s.
every once in a while you hear a gem like this, and I just go Mighty Quinn, and I record it, and that's how I come up with the list. But I might listen to 20 songs just to get one.
I'll text her in the morning again.
The other's
Yeah.
19.
I told her
or
Sunday. She
just
said
the
I'm
one.
waiting for her to get
You
back
want
to
that
me.
one
Yeah.
She's a little
Still
slow.
in
It's going to bring people in like, like I just said.
Go to the other place?
I don't think that one's gonna work
No?
with Jeff's the Revel.
Why?
Oh, that's Wednesday.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work just because from talking to Jeff, I didn't get the good vibe
No.
about it or the owner. Kind of like it was kind of like yeah, just I didn't get a good vibe. I'll tell you about it. Yeah, it's all good. Just for that particular place.
So it's New Again
Alright.
by Jen, right? And maybe
Okay,
have
let's try because I want to get some trivia in.
Yes, I want to
Go.
get this trivia.
Okay. Good, Bri? All right, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, Eric, how did you get these songs, and how did you pick these songs out? When you just talk,
we were just chatting on the break, and I was saying how I listen to nothing but 60s music all week long, every day while I'm working, while I'm hanging out, while I'm making breakfast, lunch, dinner, it doesn't matter. And then every once in a while you just get a gem like that, and I write it down, and I just cherry pick the playlist from all different radio stations, different TV channels, Billboard lists. I draw from many different
where
sources.
do we get you from? Such dedication, man. Oh my God.
Song was a gem.
Oh, Eric the gem. There it is.
Take this
By the
song.
way, Eric, you are special.
Everything you
All
pick,
right, guys.
I listen to.
This is the ToddCast.
Sitting
Jen
bopping
dances
every
to
song.
I'm telling you, well,
It's
yeah.
crazy how diverse. It doesn't matter what the genre is, right?
Jen really likes the music. Jen loves music.
It just puts me in
Which
a
brings
great
us, segues us into our next segment here. We're just having a little fun with Jen and talking about some of the things she's doing. And this segment's called New Again by Jen. What's up, Jen?
What's up? So you could all actually, you hashtag Instagram hashtag New Again by Jen. You could see some of my work on there. Yeah, so a little background. I have my bachelor's of arts degree. I went to art school.
To
I
FIT.
went to FIT. I worked in the fashion industry as a textile designer. So I designed.
Sorry, isn't that like kind of something like to show off about? Like FIT is a kind of a big deal, or
I don't know if it
think
still
it's a
is
big
now,
deal.
but
it's a big
it
deal.
was a
I
big
know it
deal.
used to be. It probably
Yeah.
still is.
It was
So
a
that's
big
something to
deal.
really.
Yeah. So then I worked in the fashion industry, and I worked for a textile company, and I would sit there and painting fabrics, and I had to do them in like 13 different colorways, and I was sitting there picking out all the color samples, and then you label them, and the fabric comes out, like you have to, I had to pick out every screen and pick out the colors, and when the fabric came in, a couple of months later, it was like, oh, wow, I did that.
Wow.
So I really love color. I'm really good with color. I actually have a couple of customers. I'm helping them pick out colors for their house. So
How instrumental was FIT in some of your development and your color schemes and stuff?
I had, all the professors at FIT they worked in the industry also. So I had one professor who was a fashion designer, another professor who was, in the business aspect when I did, knitting, worked for a knitwear company. And, so a lot of the professors aren't just professors, they're actually industry workers. And I learned a lot. And, I was always into art all through high school. I got my regents in art in high school. So, and so how I turned it into this was during COVID. Everybody was stuck home, and I was just like, huh, I'm going to start repainting some furniture. And then I had friends were like, "Oh my God, you did that? Can you do this? Can you do mine?" And
So you started around your house, kind of?
yeah, I started, and not just painting, like I was buying cane, and I was, you know, covering the fronts of drawers with cane and wood, and doing all this stuff, and stripping furniture and whitewashing it and bleaching it and painting the hardware and changing hardware out. And I have all kinds of tools. And
I
and
love that. That
and
sounds
and like
awesome.
and I was and I'm so I was married to a contractor, so I kind of know the whole construction aspect of it, and I have my own tools. And
Did you ever go on jobs with him?
with what?
With your husband, ex-husband?
No, but we did a lot of work in
In
the
the house.
funny story. When we were first married, our first house, he was working all the time, and around my window, my kitchen window, there was no molding. And I would ask him all the time, "You think you could put the molding on this window?" So one day he comes home from work, and the molding's around the window. And he goes, who'd you get to do? He goes, "Who did that?" I go, "Me." He goes, "What do you mean you?" I went to Home Depot, I measured, they had a miter saw, I cut the freaking
That's awesome.
and I nailed it around the window and painted it, and all of that. So I have the type of personality, like, I'm a perfectionist because I'm an artist first. And I take great pride in my work, and it's like my zen, and I truly,
I think
truly
you're a
enjoy
model
it.
citizen, frankly.
You do?
I do. A model citizen and something women can aspire to. I find you to be really cool.
Can I ask her a question?
course,
I
yeah.
love this. I love repainting furniture.
Yeah.
I'm so interested in all of that. I think many of us are afraid to mess up.
You can't mess up.
That was my question.
Okay.
Did you ever mess
Also,
up, or do you fix it, or do you use it as part of the
I've never messed up,
right?
but I mean, if you did, I mean, it's paint. You could just sand it right off. Like, it's really not,
Okay.
and the worst thing is, you have to start over.
Do you ever start one way and then it becomes something else?
Yes, always.
That's awesome.
You get some of that paint thinner in your eye, you're gonna know you messed up. I tell you that from experience.
I've never had that.
You can mess up.
So can people call you if they've started their own project and maybe didn't finish it or kind
Yeah.
of got stuck?
Yeah, actually,
Because I
this
have a
past
few
month,
friends where
yes.
we've started and then it was like, you know what, this
Well, here's,
isn't
the
for
thing,
me.
the thing is depending on what it is, if you're just painting it, no, you don't need to sand it all the way down to the bare wood. You could scuff sand it, make sure you degrease, with a really good degreaser first to get all the grime and stuff off. And yeah, I was really busy this past month. I did like 4 different projects. I just went to go look at a kitchen job the other day for someone else. And I just got this urge. I wanted to surprise my daughter who's coming home Thursday night for Thanksgiving break. And she had this beautiful furniture um, that we got when she was, a toddler. We got her a big girl bed, instead of buying, the toddler bed, whatever. And I always did this shabby chic, and she always had like, her furniture was like a cream color, and always did like the turquoises with the pinks and like really girly, girly. And now that she's older, you know, she wants everything like white sheets, white comforter,
Right.
and her furniture looks so yellow compared to the white. So I just got an inkling. I got an itch the other day, and the past 4 days I've been in her room painting every single piece of her furniture.
That's awesome.
And I'm surprising her. I didn't tell her. She actually FaceTimed me yesterday, and I
Mhm.
was in her room, so I had to like jump up and like run out of her room and answer
Right.
the phone because I didn't want her to see I was in her room.
So, like, to a novice who just got a wild hair and decided that they wanted to like redo a piece of furniture, it would be a smart idea to like start with an old piece of furniture that you don't really care about and kind of practice on it and make some mistakes maybe before you do like your dining room table or your kitchen cabinets or something more critical like that.
Well, kitchen cabinets, I mean,
Call
like,
Jen for that.
kitchen cabinets is a lot of work, and people don't understand. Like, it's a lot. Like, you have to degrease, you have to scuff sand, then you have to prime, and you have to stand in between, after you prime, because the primer brings out the wood grain. So, what seems like it was smooth after you prime, it's very rough. So you have to sand it down again. I mean, you're talking about kitchen cabinets, so you want them to really, really be like smooth.
She lost me at scuff sand. That's when you call Jen.
Oh, scuffs. No, it's that means you just
No,
like,
I would have run out of patience by then.
well, we have to use an electric sander. You don't do it by hand. No, that'll take you forever. And yeah, and it's my zen. It's like it's my happy place.
Jen, let me ask you, if you do all of that, I mean, construction, cabinets and all of it, do you play any sports? I'm just curious.
I did play softball
Mhm.
when I was a teenager, and I was on a bowling league.
Really? You know, Todd,
I
I
love
think she'd be
bowling.
great at pickleball
I think we should
with
have
her energy.
a bowling league for
Oh,
us.
I did.
You really?
At least a bowling, game.
Bowling.
Fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, Todd,
I
you
love
holy.
Should. Maybe we could broadcast.
I think we
that.
get like a bowling. I love bowling. I have my own bowling ball.
Yeah.
I used to be really good.
Spin on the bowling.
I used to have it at 13 years old. I had a 231 average.
Pick one. Pick a leg up while you swing.
Throw and throw it. The whole thing. Yeah.
Out of all of us, who's the most distracted, do you think? Because we just went from kitchen cabinets to bowling. Go get our bowling balls out.
I had to bring that up.
Sports, Dave. I was an avid kickboxer too.
Oh, I knew it was something about you, Jen.
Yeah.
You're gonna kick somebody in the neck.
I
Or
never
just
I-
bags.
I never kicked a human.
I'm so interested in the cabinets, though. Can I ask her one more question? Do you sell pieces, or do you only go and work on what people have?
Well, here's the thing. I did pick up a couple of pieces when people leave them out on the curb,
Yes.
and they are currently in my garage.
Okay.
And what I plan on doing when I'm not so busy is like one of those projects where I'm gonna like paint it amazing and then like
Right.
sell it on
Sell
like
it.
Facebook.
Oh,
Facebook
that's exciting.
Marketplace or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think this would be fun, Jen, to do this again next week. Maybe talk a little bit about you have some really good holistic stuff too, and some health things. I think that's a fun segment.
I can mention something right now because I know it's
Yeah.
like cold and flu
Uh-huh.
season. Get yourselves a bottle of oil of oregano.
Oil.
Oil of oregano.
Where do you get that from?
You could buy it at a health food store.
Okay.
I actually found mine like a couple of years ago at Whole Foods
Uh-huh.
in like the vitamin section.
Right.
It's a tincture,
Mhm.
and you have a sore throat or like scratchy throat. You put one drop in the back of your throat. Burns like hell.
Uh-huh.
Not burn like
Right.
burn like almost like a spicy burn, but
Right.
it's not spicy. It's really potent. and your sore throat will go away. Like it's like nature's antibiotic.
Oh, wow.
Yes, yes,
Oil of oregano.
yeah.
All right, guys. New Again by Jen. Jen, how do people get a hold of you?
Well, like I said, you could. So I have most of my furniture under my Instagram, which is Diary of a Brooklyn Girl.
Mm.
And like I said, you could search the hashtag New Again by Jen, and my furniture comes up. You could click on one of them, and that's my account, and you could message me on there. Or if you have any kind of furniture you want to refinish and you want my opinion, you want me to do it for you, you could just call my cell 917-517-2679.
Amazing. Eric, Jeff, the lovely Jen Iovino, a real, whatever guy gets you, you're a real catcher, I believe. But you're
you.
deep. You're very intense. A quiet intensity with this girl.
Yes.
So if you want to hang out with Jen, you better be very real.
Yes, you have to be
Maybe
100%.
we
She
could
doesn't
put her-
date Democrats, though, just be aware.
Maybe maybe we need to do a little setup on the single side.
Quite possible. Eric, would you mind? Can we do a couple little fun little trivia things here?
Yeah, we can, Todd. So that was a brilliant idea you had. I'll give
Wow.
it the old college try in the next 3 minutes that
Yeah.
we have left. So it'll go in a clockwise order. Todd, you're first.
Okay.
This is Long Island through the decades. So you have to
Mhm.
name the decade that it happened in. Charles Lindbergh, first solo cross Atlantic flight. He flies from Long Island to Paris, I think it was. What decade?
No, I'm wrong. I'll say the 40s.
Okay.
Anyone
Incorrect.
else?
Lori,
20s.
your best guess.
Damn it.
10.
1910s?
Mhm.
Jen, what's your guess?
I was gonna say 1920s.
1920s is correct. 1927. Okay, Long Island.
I like the music.
Largest island in the contiguous U.S. by square miles. True or false? Lori's turn.
True.
Definitely true.
True.
I know.
All right. First supermarket opened on Long Island. Happened to be at King Cullen. What decade did it happen in, Jen?
1940s.
Dave, your turn. Guess again.
Let me go next after Dave.
1930.
1930 is
Oh, wait,
correct.
correct.
The
Okay.
year. Okay,
Dave.
first prototype. Now it's Todd's turn. First
Oh,
prototype for an aerial drone flown right here on Long Island. What decade?
a real type for a drone, probably at Grumman. I'm just guessing because Grumman was a big defense contractor. Let's say the 50s. I don't know.
Lori, your turn.
I don't know.
1918.
Oh,
All right.
Oh.
Montauk Lighthouse constructed. This is Dave. This is for you. This is you'll get a multiple choice.
Davy
It's
boy.
either 1656, 1796, or 1830. Guess the correct year.
Why did you
Montauk
get
Lighthouse
multiple
was
choice?
constructed.
Where was my multiple?
I know what.
18.
I know
What would say? What was it? 18.
I'm with them.
Yeah.
1650s, 1796, or 1830.
1830.
1830.
All right, the correct year 1796. That's
Right.
Dave.
This is right.
The Revolutionary War time.
Yeah, we did.
That's not 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Working water mill left in the U.S. What town?
Wait, hold on. Southold?
Exactly. Jen got it. Jen got it. Jen got it. Okay.
I got married at my first marriage was at the watermill. Nice job, Jim.
Industrial
I was
park.
going to say Armageddon.
The largest industrial park in the U.S. True or
Heartland?
false? This is a two-part question.
True.
True. You know, any idea how many people are employed there in the Hauppauge Industrial
Oh,
Park?
Hop
For a bonus question. Take a wild guess.
8,000.
Guess again.
How many people employed there?
Yeah, 55,000 people.
Oh,
I was gonna say 70.
All right, last question. First land bridge off of Long Island. What bridge was it and what decade?
Brooklyn Bridge.
Brooklyn Bridge is correct. Give me a year.
1899.
Very close. Anyone else want to take a guess?
Like 1890s.
Guess the decade.
1890s.
1800.
No.
Late 18.
That's a century. bro.
1888.
1883 is the correct year. You're right there. Good job, everybody. Good job, everybody.
Eric Swenson. Eric Swenson. Yo, this was rigged. This was rigged. He gets multiple choice.
Yeah.
Hey guys, thanks for following us on the podcast. Jen Rubino, Eric Swenson, Dave RMD Tillery, Todd Miranda, the lovely Lori McKeo Smith. We had Alex Ellie from outside, and Long Island, you are
Special.
Thank you, brother.
She can't. What's it? Heard that?
It was fun that I liked it. That, yeah.